Imagine building a city where the ground itself refuses to exist. No solid foundation, no bedrock plateau, only shifting coral, shallow reefs, and the constant pressure of the sea. Now imagine raising massive stone walls there, walls weighing several tons each, without cranes, without metal tools, without wheels. Why would anyone attempt this? And more importantly, how did they succeed? In the western Pacific Ocean lies a place that forces historians to pause. Nan Madol was not built on land, it was built on water. A network of nearly 100 artificial islets constructed atop a coral reef lagoon. Instead of streets, there are canals. Instead of foundations sunk into soil, there are basalt logs stacked like immense timber, forming geometric enclosures that appear almost deliberate in their defiance of geography. Nan Madol is located on the eastern shore of Pohnpei, in what is today the Federated States of Micronesia. Archaeological evidence suggests construction began around the 12th or 13th century under the Saudeleur dynasty, rulers who unified Pohnpei through centralized authority. This was not a random settlement, it was a political and ceremonial capital, a statement of power. The scale of engineering required is difficult to ignore. The site contains hundreds of thousands of basalt stones, many weigh several tons. The basalt itself originated from quarries on the island, transported across uneven terrain and over water to reach the reef. No evidence suggests the use of draft enemies or wheeled vehicles. The technology available would have been simple: canoes, ropes, manpower, knowledge of tides. Scholars believe the stones were likely moved by leveraging tidal currents and floating them on rafts during high tide, then positioning them carefully as the waters receded. It would have required extraordinary coordination, not mystical knowledge, not lost technology, but disciplined social organization. The city's design reveals intention. Rectangular compounds rise from the lagoon, each separated by narrow canals. The largest and most imposing structure, known as Nan Madol, served as a royal mortuary complex. Its outer walls rise up to 7 or 8 meters high. The basalt logs are stacked in alternating layers, creating interlocking corners that resemble giant timber construction. The effect is austere, geometric, almost abstract. Why build here at all? Why choose instability over convenience? The answer may lie in symbolism. Water isolates, water protects, water transforms space into ritual boundary. By constructing their capital on a reef, the Saudeleur rulers created physical separation between themselves and the rest of the island's population. Access required canoes, movement was controlled, authority was spatially reinforced. Nan Madol was not simply a city, it was an engineered hierarchy. The layout suggests specialized zones. Certain islets were used for food preparation, others for priests, others for elite residences. The canal system functioned as controlled passageways rather than open streets. The environment itself became part of governance. But power built on control rarely lasts indefinitely. Oral traditions describe growing resentment against the Saudeleur rulers. By the early 16th century, political authority shifted. The centralized system collapsed. Nan Madol was gradually abandoned. Nature began its quiet reclamation. Mangroves grew, coral shifted, silence returned. European explorers encountered the ruins centuries later, perplexed. Early observers exaggerated. Some speculated about lost continents. Others imagined vanished civilizations disconnected from Pacific cultures. These interpretations reflected more about colonial imagination than historical evidence. Modern archaeology offers a grounded explanation. Nan Madol was built by the ancestors of the Pohnpeian people. It represents a peak of social complexity in Micronesia. Its construction required not supernatural intervention, but organized labor, engineering insight,
and a centralized political system capable of mobilizing resources over decades. Carbon dating of associated materials supports a medieval time frame. Linguistic and cultural continuity connects the site firmly to regional traditions. There is no evidence of foreign architects or mysterious external builders. The achievement belongs to the people of Pohnpei. Yet the questions remain compelling. How did they calculate load distribution without written blueprints? How did they align the basalt logs so precisely? How many years of labor were required? Estimates vary, but the cumulative effort likely spanned generations. Nan Madol was not built in haste. It was constructed through sustained political will. Its location also reveals environmental intelligence. The reef foundation provided natural protection from ocean swells. The lagoon buffered waves. Elevated platforms reduced flood risk. What appears unstable at first glance was in fact carefully chosen. There is also a deeper human dimension. Constructing Nan Madol required belief, collective participation in something larger than individual survival. The movement of each stone symbolized allegiance to authority and cosmology. Architecture here functioned as ideology in stone. And then it ended. Not with invasion, not with visible destruction, but with political transformation. When the Saudeleur system fell, the rationale for maintaining the city vanished. Without centralized power, its maintenance became impractical. Stone does not sustain itself. Canals silt, walls erode, human absence becomes visible. Today, Nan Madol stands partially reclaimed by vegetation and tide. It is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, acknowledged both for its cultural significance and its vulnerability to environmental change. Rising sea levels pose a renewed threat to a city that was always defined by water. There is a quiet irony in that. Nan Madol demonstrates that technological sophistication does not require steel or concrete. It requires coordination, vision, authority, the ability to organize collective effort toward an abstract goal. It also demonstrates fragility. When political structures dissolve, even monumental achievements can fade within a generation. We often measure civilizations by their monuments, pyramids, cathedrals, skyscrapers. But Nan Madol asks a subtler question. What compels humans to build where building is hardest? Perhaps it is not practicality. Perhaps it's symbolism. To construct a city atop water is to declare that even instability can be shaped, that authority can reorder nature, that identity can be anchored in the improbable. And yet, nature waits patiently. Nan Madol endures not because it conquered the sea, but because it negotiated with it, temporarily. In the end, the city built on water reminds us of something unsettling and deeply human. Power can assemble stone, but it cannot guarantee permanence. Even the most improbable achievements depend on the social currents beneath them.